Evasion down. War stone.
That's still recharging. That's still recharging. It's too far away.
Sprint. Polly. Polly.
It's too far away.
Grounding. Disarm. Inner focus. Intimidating shout. Earthbind. Fear ward. Cannibalize.
It's too far away.
Blind. Intimidating shout. Evasion.
I can't drink anymore. It's too far away. I can't cancel.
Psychic scream.
That spell isn't ready. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready.
Mount Hyjal and Illidan's gift, waters from the Well of Eternity.
I can't cast that.
The
yet.
few night elves that survived that horrific explosion rallied together on crudely made rafts, and slowly made their way to the old landmass.
Sweeping strikes.
Somehow, by the grace of Allah, Malfurion combats Naris and survived the Great Sundering. The weary heroes agreed to lead their fellow survivors and establish a new home for their people. As they journeyed in silence, they surveyed the wreckage of their world and realized that their passions had wrought the destruction all around them. Though Sargeras and his legion had been ripped from the world by the well's destruction, Malfurion and his companions were left to ponder the terrible cost of victory. There were many highborn who did survive the cataclysm unscathed. They made their way to the shores of the new land with the other night elves. Though Malfurion mistrusted the highborn's motivations, he was satisfied that they could cause no real mischief without the well's energies. As the weary mass of night elves landed upon the shores of the new land, they found that the holy mountain, Highjaw, had survived the catastrophe.
Evasion down.
Seeking to establish a new home for themselves, Malfurion and the night elves climbed the slopes of Highjaw and reached its windswept summit.
That's still recharging.
As they descended into the wooden bowl, nestled between the mountain's enormous peaks, they found a small, tranquil lake.
That spell
To their
isn't ready
horror,
yet.
they found the lake's waters had been found by magic.
I can't handle that.
Illidan, having
We need to get
survived the
closer.
Sundering's well, had reached Hijaw's summit long before Malfurion and the Night Elves. In his mad bid to maintain the flows of magic in the world, Illidan had poured his vials, which contained the precious waters from the Well of Eternity, into the mountain lake. The well's potent energies quickly ignited and coalesced into a new Well of Eternity. The exultant Illidan, believing the new well was a gift to future generations, was shocked when Malfurion hunted him down. Malfurion explained to his brother that magic was innately chaotic, and that its use would inevitably lead to widespread corruption and strife. Still, Illidan refused to relinquish his magical powers. Knowing full well where Illidan's ruthless schemes would eventually lead, Malfurion decided to deal with his power-crazed brother once and for all. With Cenarius' help, Malfurion sealed Illidan within a vast underground barrow prison, where he would remain chained and powerless until the end of time.
I'm out of range.
To ensure his brother's containment, Malfurion empowered
Sweeping
young
strikes.
Maiev Shadowsong to be Illidan's personal jailer. Concerned that destroying the new well might bring about an even greater catastrophe, the Night Elves resolved to leave it be. However, Malfurion
Elemental
declared that
mastery.
they would never practice the arts of magic again. Under Cenarius' watchful eye, they began to study the ancient
Berserker
arts
range.
of herdism that would enable them to heal the ravaged earth and regrow
Earthbind.
the base of Hydra.
Evasion. Earthbind.
Hey there, Asmodeans. It's your pal Zappo. Totally hyped up for today's lore book reading. We got tales so epic, even a dragon would drop its treasure to
Evasion
listen.
down.
So pull up a seat and get ready to jump into amazing legends and mind-blowing mysteries of our world.
Polly. Earthbind.
The first Greymane. From the Seven Nations
Berserker
that were
range.
originally part of the Empire of Erethdor, Gilneas stands
Earthbind.
out as the one that had to fight the hardest for its independence. While Lordaeron was able to secure its freedom through the influence of its
Grounding.
nobles, the people of Gilneas had to make great sacrifices to gain their liberty. Although the exact dates
Tremor.
of these events have been lost to the sands of time, it is a source of great pride for Gilneas to know that it gained its freedom before other notable nations like Alterac or Kulturas. The people of Gilneas were among the first to break free from the yoke of Erethdorian nobility and enjoy the full benefits of self-rule.
Berserker range.
The Greymane dynasty that ruled Gilneas was founded by Geralt,
Earthbind.
a noble who owned an insignificant
Grounding.
plot of land in the southern part of the country. Over time, Gerlon's influence grew.
Sweeping
He was
strikes.
a skilled fighter, a wise judge, and an honorable opponent. His exploits became legend even in his own time. However, he grew increasingly resentful of the corrupt
Polly.
Erethdorian nobles who sought to exploit and oppress his homeland. Eventually, Geralon gathered other like-minded lords from Gilneas to form a rebellion against the decadent Arathorian king, Thoradin III, and his followers. Many lords were hesitant to join the rebellion, but Geralon was able to persuade them and eventually declared himself the King of Gilneas. This was an affront that could not be tolerated by Arathor, which sent its legions to pacify Gilneas. Numerous battles were fought on the peninsula, but despite the bravery and courage of Gilneas' men, the odds seemed stacked against them. Arathor had a
Grounding.
numerical advantage
Sweeping
and was able
strikes.
to overwhelm the Gilnean armies. The Battle of Ravenswood was lost, and the Gilnean soldiers were scattered, seemingly without hope. But the young Gilnean king was not deterred. He rebuilt his strength and rallied the morale of his men. The final battle was fought on the hills of Stillwater. Greymane assumed a defensive position on the hilltop, with
Grounding.
Greymane hiding in the nearby forest.
Tremor.
The Arathorian forces were over 4 times larger and better equipped, and they rushed Geralon's positions without considering their own men.
Elemental mastery. Intimidating shout.
Killing thousands of Arathorians, but it was not enough. The enemy flowed onto the hills and threatened to surround Greymane's army. Thankfully, the cavalry in the woods emerged from hiding to turn the tide of the battle. They came
Dash.
out of the forest, charging straight into the Arathorian lines.
Shield wall down.
The Arathorian formations were shattered. Although they attempted to retreat, the Gilneans gave them no quarter and sought revenge for their previous losses. Thousands of Arathorians were killed, including their king, Thoradin III, who pleaded for mercy, but received none. In the end, Gilneas emerged victorious, and the new young king
Grounding.
Arathor soon came
Earthbind.
to seek for peace. Gilneas was granted independence and joined Dalaran as one of the independent human nations. King Geralon proclaimed the emancipation
Intimidating
of his
shout.
Gilnean land, giving rise to the
Sweeping
glorious
strike. Psychic scream.
as the nascent kingdom of Gilneas began to thrive.
Scatter shot.
Another challenge. The Magocrats of Dalaran, who saw a land ripe for exploitation, attacked Gilneas without warning or declaration of war, in a clear display of their treachery.
Dash.
The wizards of Dalaran, believing they could easily win the war with their magical abilities, underestimated the strength of the Gilnean army. The first battle of Emmermere was a complete massacre of the Dalaranian soldiers, and their mages hanged on trees from the city of Gilneas to the kingdom's border as a reminder to never again encroach on Gilnean soil. Despite the victory over Dalaran, the young king of Gilneas was not able to rest for long. Various nobles of the land were not always loyal to the king, and some rebelled against his rule. However, King Geralon's power was too great, and he managed to subdue them all with the help of his favored general, Lord Ravenwood.
Hey, Azeroth, picture this. Old Zappo dozing off in Ironforge.
Inner
dead in
focus.
Rageforge. I mean, I'm a goblin, right? We need our beauty sleep. Well, my nap turned into a near swan dive into molten lava. Talk about a wake-up call.
Grounding.
It's a good thing my reflexes are faster than a gnomish invention gone wrong. I escaped the zizzle, but my boots got a
Disarm.
makeover. Now they're lava loving. Lesson learned. Never snooze near lava, folks. You might wake up with a hot news fashion statement.
Salutations,
Earthbind.
knowledge. The Arcane Wonders Academy invites you to unlock the secrets of the arcane arts. Our distinguished instructors will guide you in harnessing
Bubble
the
down.
powers of
Berserker
magic,
rage.
just as we have done for generations. Join us and embrace your destiny as a master. I mean, student of the arcane.
Feeling the hunger of a warrior? Head to Grunt's Gut-Busting Grill. Our chefs prepare meat so tender it'll make you question if you're chewing at all. Eat like a
Breathing
champion
trap.
and stoke the fires of your inner beast.
Earthbind. Grounding. Dash.
I don't have a target. It's too far away.
Dash. Scatter shot.
Need
Earth Bind.
That's still charging.
Dash. Earth Bind. Berserker Rage. Dash.
That spell isn't ready. It's too far away. I can't cast that.